Rosanna Haslam was 36 when she first came to see me. She owned a hair salon and had 2 young children. She was experiencing a whole series of unpleasant symptoms following a hysterectomy a few years before, and she felt she'd lost her grip on life. I met Rosanna and her husband Tim and talked to them about how their lives were affected following her hysterectomy at the age of 36.
After I had my 2 children, I started having very heavy and irregular periods and feeling quite low and irritable. And I went to my GP and he sent me to the gynecologist who treated me with DNCs. And after 4 sort of cycles of that and the symptoms getting worse, he recommended that I should have a hysterectomy. And after careful consideration, I decided to go for that, so long as they left my ovaries. And that's what we did. And then from then on, about 4 years after that, I started getting other symptoms like night sweats and very sore breasts and feeling irritable, and I got very, very low and very depressed. And I went to my GP and he recommended HRT. I tried that for a very short time, but the symptoms got worse, and they did actually help the night sweats, but it didn't really help the other symptoms. They actually got worse. And then I remembered reading one day, I didn't feel very well and I was curled up in my bed and thinking, I can't deal with anything anymore. And I remember reading an article about your clinic, and I remember phoning you up and talking to someone on the other end of the phone who actually knew what I was going through and understood everything that I felt. And that's when I came to visit you.
And Tim, you came with her. You brought her along to the first appointment. Were you quite cool about her coming on our programme? How did you feel about it?
I was feeling a little bit anxious because, you know, as Rosa said, she had some pretty severe symptoms now, and this had been developing over some months before coming to see you, and I was getting very concerned because Rosanna's always, you know, been a very vibrant, positive person, and you know, we had a young family, and all of a sudden, you know, Rosanna just seemed to be changing as a person, and that was affecting our whole lives. So she'd been to see our GP, and I think I was very concerned that she followed the route that he'd set her on. You know, apart from wanting to be supportive, you know, also I came along just trying to keep my eye on things and make sure that we weren't going to do anything silly, and we were going to take the best advice.
How long did it take before you started to notice a difference?
No more than a month, really. It was the first visit that we came, and the second visit, which was 4 weeks later, I'd seen a massive difference. So it wasn't long at all.
We made quite a few changes to your diet in the beginning.
Yes, I sort of cut out wheat and caffeine, and I had to take soya milk, so I wasn't allowed dairy. And it was just lots of fish and vegetables. And I also made myself a nice little soya and linseed sandwich at lunchtime with the bread. And the linseeds that I used to put on my muesli in the mornings was very good too. And the supplements, of course. The red clover was very good.
Did you find the diet as difficult as you thought you might?
At first I thought it was going to be difficult, but then I found it very easy, and I really liked the meal planners that were in the book.
Tim, in what way did you find Rosanna different once she'd been through the programme?
Rose just got a zest for life back, and a positive attitude returned, and her energy, and very quickly a lot of these symptoms just started falling away, and it was just great to, you know, for myself and our children, and our business, to have Rose back.
And the personal life, libido?
Yeah, I would say that returned very happily, thank you.
That's great. I'm really pleased for you both. My observation of patients who've successfully managed their menopause naturally, as well as my own personal experience, lead me to conclude that menopause, rather than being the beginning of the end, should be viewed much more as a new beginning.